Hello. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another episode of Vlogmas. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about my thank you scribbles. I hesitate to call them thank you notes, and I suppose they're a note. I am scribbling on them, but they're just little teeny tiny strips of paper on which I rub my DNA and tell you, thank you, I appreciate you. So, thank you notes. This is an experiment, as with just about everything that I do. And what I mean by that is initially, when I first started including thank you notes, well, let's go back to the very beginning. I never thought when I packaged my artwork, my prints, my stickers, any of my goods from my shop, I never thought that people were saving the wrapper. Not everybody saves the wrapper, but there are people out there who do like to, whether it's for scrapbooking purposes or whether they just want to keep it for a little while on the refrigerator and then toss it when it gets dingy, whatever the case, some people enjoy hanging on to signatures and such. So I would write thank you directly on the tissue paper, and then I had a few people, they would photograph the packages, and some people would tear. I mean, of course, it's tissue paper, it's going to tear. So the tissue paper would tear, and then they would take a photograph of the package, and they would say, oh no, I ripped the tissue paper, and they would try to salvage it. And I felt bad. I had never anticipated that happening, meaning people hanging on to the packaging materials. I'm a sentimental beast, so I don't know why that just hadn't occurred to me. I don't know. But in any case, I decided, okay, after doing this for so long, I'm going to stop scribbling directly on the tissue paper, and I'm going to design and order thank you cards, thank you notes, thank you whatever. They were little cards. So I had ordered small little, I believe they were 3" by 3" cards. They were basically an extension of my business card. It had my name, my URL, and I believe it had my Instagram handle on one side, and then on the reverse, I would draw a little bat. My little scribbly bat, my thank you bat. He's on everything. And then once I ran through that stack, I started noticing that because I had designed the cards in such a way that they were heavily saturated in deep purple ink, they were prone to scratching. So even in the mail, when the package would arrive, sometimes just by the very nature of the very inky cardstock being jostled around in the mail, sometimes it would get a little scratched. So that didn't work. And I thought, okay, well now what else can I do to send people a little thank you, just a little token of my appreciation for what they do. So what they do as in by purchasing and supporting my work. So what I did one day is I went to the craft store, as one always does. By the way, if you live in a city where you have an art store, count your blessings, people, because I had taken it for granted for so many years. True story, years and years ago, I actually worked at an art store, and it was, I loved being surrounded by art supplies, but I wouldn't think about it. I had two art supply stores in the city that I lived in that I would regularly visit. And now that I moved out into essentially the middle of nowhere, all I have is one crappy Michael's craft store. I know, that their art supply section is crap. At least this one. So anyway, I was wandering around Michael's, and I was in their paper section, and I found a pad of cardstock. It was a cardstock that was all different shades of purple. I didn't know what I was going to do with it, but I knew that I wanted to purchase it. So I purchased it, and I had it sitting in my closet. And then finally, when I ran out of thank you cards, I reached into my closet and I said, well, duh, you have all this purple paper here just waiting to be used. So I trimmed it with my guillotine cutter, which I love using because you all know I love the French, okay? And every time I play with that guillotine, I live my Marie Antoinette fantasy. And so what I did is I trimmed down every single sheet of paper down to, I went a little bit smaller this time. Smaller is cuter, so we did 2.5 by 2.5. I cut them down And these are serving as my thank you notes. They are absolutely nothing special. There's no bells and whistles here. It's just a simple, I trim down the paper, I scribble on it with my signature metallic gold ink. I put my little bat on there and I just write thank you. So that way, if somebody wants to hang on to a little piece of the packaging, they have this little thank you note to hang on to. You don't have to keep it forever if you don't want to. You can throw it away immediately if that's what you desire to do. But you can always just throw it in a drawer, scrapbook it, put it on your refrigerator, stick it in your wallet for all I care, whatever you're going to do with a little bat. He's just my little from me to you. And when it comes to the gold pen, I think every now and then I'm going to play with the glitter pens as well. These are metallic paint markers. These are a little bit difficult to come by out here where I live. So I'm not even going to recommend that you use them. Plus, they're highly toxic and some people don't like the smell. I love the scent of it, but a lot of people don't. So they're deco color markers, but I'm sure there are other alternatives. I just find that the acrylic paint markers, the metallic, never works as well as these stinky xylene-based markers. These are my favorite. I love these. So I use these, and then my favorite gold glitter pen is going to be the Gold Sparkle Pop, and I think I'm going to start using that one. And I believe for the first time ever, I am also going to start using my beloved black glaze pen. Y'all know how much I love that black glaze pen. And because some of my branding, just one of my lesser used but still part of my brand colors is just neutral black. And so I want to bring that black into a little bit more of my branding. I mentioned in my actual branding video, which is a Vlogmas episode, that I was toying with the idea of purchasing black envelopes as well. So having black envelopes and a black address label and then using the black pens on some of my thank you notes is going to bring everything together in a nice cohesive fashion. We love cohesive branding around here. We love being matchy-matchy. I mean, look at my nails. Purple. Look at my ring. Purple, gold. You see, my entire life is purple and gold. That is going to do it for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed hanging out with me for another Vlogmas episode. I love doing these thank you notes. They are totally stress-free, easy. They take a long time. You have to do them in steps. You have to trim the paper. Then you have to draw on the front. And then you have to write thank you on the back. So it's steps, 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 steps. But it's one of those activities that is repetitive and fun to do. All the little bats are similar. They're the same but different. I follow roughly a recipe, a formula, if you will, for my little bat. So everyone gets a similar bat, but still it's just a little personal touch that I enjoy putting into my packages. Hope you enjoy watching it. I hope you enjoy receiving these. I'm sure there are some folks out there who have a healthy little collection of my bats. You're creating your own little flock of flip-flaps, and I love it. That is going to do it for today's Vlogmas. Thank you once again for joining me. I will see you tomorrow for yet another episode. Take a look down below. Everything you need to know will be down below. Links to my socials, links to my shop, links to my website, links to everything. Just everything. All right. Be bad, be good. I don't give a damn which. You know that? I do not care. Just make sure that you come back in one piece. 2 pieces will be all right as well. I'll put you together if I have to, but please, no more than that. Thank you so much, and I will see you tomorrow.